there, it's my birthday and I'm gonna make something special tonight because it's my birthday. But before I do, I want to show you my flowers. Aren't they beautiful? This is what I came downstairs to this morning. My dear Marty. He always gives me flowers. Okay, so what I'm making special is French onion mac and cheese, which I think sounds delicious. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm sure it's going to be good. And if it's not, you won't be seeing this video. So let's get started. Oh, it came from the New York Times. That's where the recipe came from. All right, so what do we need? We need macaroni, a pound of macaroni. Or some kind that I've never heard of. What is it called? Cavatappi. I looked it up and they're actually corkscrew shaped pastas, but I don't know where you get those. So we're using macaroni and it says you can. Okay, so there's that. There's the cheese, two kinds of cheeses. There is Gruyere and white cheddar, and this one is extra sharp, so that's going to be delicious, I'm sure. We're going to also have a garlic. I have one plus a little one, so I'm just going to use the whole thing. Some butter, 4 tablespoons. A bay leaf. This is optional, so if you don't have that, that's okay, but I happen to have some, so I'm going to use my bay leaf. And, oh, so they said in the recipe, it says sherry vinegar or white vinegar or red vinegar. And I know that French onion soup has the flavor of sherry. So I don't have any sherry vinegar. I'm going to use actual sherry. And it's not expensive, you know. I got it for cooking. So anyway, there's that. And finally, I think the last thing, salt and pepper, of course, is a baguette. A baguette that is sliced into 1/2-inch slices. So little thin pieces of baguettes. We'll see how that works. I think that's everything. Let's get busy. So I've started a pot of water to boil so I can cook the macaroni, and that's over here. That is salted water. Put the lid on to help it to boil faster. And I forgot a couple of ingredients. One is we need some sprigs of fresh thyme, and I'm lucky I have this growing in my yard, so I just picked some. And also we need sweet onions, 2 pounds of sweet onions. Yeah, how could we have French onion mac and cheese without the onions? Anyway, so I need to thinly slice the onions, and I'm going to use my Cuisinart to do that. And you can do it by hand or use a food processor. But thin slices, okay? I'm still waiting for the water to boil. It's pretty close, but not quite there. But in the meantime, I've put 2 tablespoons of butter. Wow, that looks like 1 tablespoon, doesn't it? I think I need to add some to it. Anyway, 2 tablespoons of butter in my large skillet. I'm going to use a large skillet. If you're going to use a baking dish for this, you'll want to butter that one and set it aside. This can go in the oven, so I'm just going to do everything right in this. So I'm going to melt that butter and slice the onions, but I wanted to show you how I'm going to slice them too. So I'm just going to cut them in half like this and slice it in my food processor. If you aren't going to do it in a food processor, then just flip it over and thinly slice it just like that, just like you would normally. My butter is now melted. I'm gonna put in my onions. That's a lot of onions. Oh yeah, so I was just thinking, you might want to consider halving this recipe. Just cut everything in half, since there's only you. Unless you just want a ton of leftovers, which can't be bad. I'm gonna throw in a bay leaf and 5 sprigs of thyme. So that's like 3, 4, 5. I have some extra because I'm supposed to put some on the top. So there's that. And then we're just I'm gonna put the lid on. This should actually be medium high, so I'm gonna turn it up a little bit to medium high. I had it on medium. That's okay. Okay, and it says season with salt and pepper. I forgot about that. I'm gonna skip the salt because, you know, I got salty cheese and I don't think I need it, but I am gonna need some pepper. Oh dear, and I'm running out. So I'll take care of that. And then I'm gonna put pepper in here and we'll see what's next. I just decided I'm gonna use another kind of pepper that I have. This is a red peppercorn. Came from Cambodia or something. I don't know. It's good. The company is no longer in business, unfortunately. They had some good peppers. But anyway, pepper. All right. Give that a little stir. And I decided to turn the water down because actually it only has to cook for 4 minutes. The package directions for the macaroni says 6 minutes, but the recipe says cook it to 2 minutes before it's done, and that means just 4 minutes, and I'm gonna wait. Okay, now what? I probably should have made this before I started making this video because the recipe says put the water on to boil the noodles or the pasta, and then do this other stuff. And I realized we're not going to actually boil the pasta for a while, so I turned it off. So I wouldn't start the water boiling that early. That's ridiculous. So let me show you what I have now. I've been cooking the onions for, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 4. And that's all I'm supposed to do until it's soft. So here's what it looks like. Oh, here. There. There's what it looks like. Whoa. Camera fall. I don't know. Okay. So here it is. Cook them until it's soft. Now, we're going to keep the lid off because we need to caramelize these onions. And I'm supposed to do that at a medium-high temperature, which is where it is. And it's going to take 20 to 25 minutes. So I'm just going to keep stirring it now and then. Okay. If the onions start looking dry, then I'll just put a tablespoon or so of water in just to, you know, keep them from sticking to the pan and burning. Okay. So now what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to grate the cheese. But let me tell you exactly how much you're supposed to have. 16 ounces of Gruyere and 12 ounces of white cheddar, or like 5 cups of Gruyere and 4 cups of cheddar. So I'm gonna just grate that and have it ready. And then we'll take it from there. The onions have been cooking for almost 10 minutes and they're already looking pretty brown. We're supposed to cook them until they are a deep golden brown. And as you can see, that's looking pretty brown. So, supposed to go another 10 minutes. I don't think I'm going to be able to go another 10 minutes. But I'll keep going a little bit. I think I'll turn it down to like slightly over medium and keep that going. I've grated the cheese, or shredded the cheese really, in my food processor. And here's that. I have these delicious little pieces on the top. Why am I making so much? We're gonna have enough of this to eat the same dinner every day for a week. On the other hand, I could save some. I could freeze it. I could freeze some. That's what I meant. Okay, so nothing else I can do yet. Oh, yes, there is something else I can do. I need to turn the oven on and get the water boiling now for the macaroni. So, move the lid. And I'm going to turn this on. Shouldn't take long for that water to boil. And I'm gonna, oh yeah, turn the oven on. 450. I'm glad it's been a cool day, because that is a hot oven. Or it's going to be anyway. Okay, so that's it. Okay, it's time to put the macaroni in the boiling water. Let's see if I can make this visible for you. Oh, you know how to pour it. Gently. And stir it up a little bit. And then I'm going to put the lid on, but I'm not going anywhere because as soon as that starts boiling again, I want to take the lid and just kind of let a little bit of the steam escape. In the meantime, I have about half of the baguette cut. I'm not sure, I got a feeling I'm not going to need the whole thing. So what I have to do is get that garlic, and I'll probably just cut it in half and just rub one side of each of these slices. Remember, 1/2 inch thick. And I remembered another ingredient that I didn't mention at the beginning, and that's 4 cups of whole milk. But we're not ready for that. So let's take a look here. It's looking very nice and golden brown. And I have about 1.5 minutes left on that. So when this is done, I'm going to remove the bay leaf and the sprigs of thyme, and also when the water's boiling for the macaroni, I'm going to stir that. Ooh, it's already trying to stick. And I'm going to cook that for 4 minutes. So, get that stirred. Get that lid back on. As soon as it starts boiling, I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. Not a lot. Still want it to boil. I'm going to move the lid so that it's letting some steam escape, and I'm going to set the timer for 4 minutes. The onions are ready. So I'm going to remove the bay leaf, hopefully without burning myself. Get that onion off. And I've got 5 sprigs of thyme, so there's one. There's another one. Two. Get that out. Three. Where are they? There's two more in here somewhere. Ah, there it is. Four. And where is number five? So what you want to do at this point is, you see all that dark stuff? It's sticky. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of sherry. And I'm going to deglaze the pan, which means it's kind of a sneaky way of cleaning it up and getting all that good yumminess off the bottom. So, here we go. One, two. Okay, stir it up. Ooh, oh, that smell. Okay, so I've got to do a lot of things, or a couple of things pretty quickly right now. I'm going to put the rest of the butter in the onions, and I'm going to drain the pasta because it has been 4 minutes. Okay, but I need both hands. So, here's this. Here's the rest of the butter. And turn that off. And I'm going to put you over here where I'm going to bring the pasta. Right here. And drain it. Okay, it's really weird to stop cooking pasta before it's quite done. But that's what we're doing. Okay. All right, now we're coming back over here where the butter is melted. Let's fix the camera. One. 2, 3. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to need a whisk. Okay. So you want your flour to be cooked a little bit, otherwise it's going to taste like flour. You don't want that. So that's looking pretty good. So I'm going to slowly add the milk. And I'm going to be doing a lot of whisking while I'm slowly adding the milk. So. So I'm going to keep doing this until it's all in there, but I'm not going to make you watch. We use the whisk so that we don't get lumps in, our sauce, but it's catching the onions, and I'm trying to get them off. So be aware of it. Ah. Okay, I'm gonna deal with that later and stir right now. So it's all bubbly, you see. So I'm gonna put some pepper in here. You can add salt if you wanna have it saltier. Oh. So I'll wait about the pepper because I haven't refilled it yet. Okay, so here's this. I'm gonna put all this cheese in there. I took out 1 cup of Gruyere and set it aside, and I'm gonna put the rest of it in. Oh my God, that's so much cheese. Okay. And I'm gonna stir it up to melt the cheese. I've stirred it gently until the cheese has melted and it's all bubbly hot. And now I'm going to put in the pepper because now I have the pepper. Okay. Now I'm going to put in the macaroni and stir it up. See how it's sticking? That's why I didn't want to cook this early, because as it cools, it gets more and more stuck to each other. Okay. All right. I think I need something bigger than this. All right, it's all ready for the next step. And I turned off the heat. So the next step is we're going to take these slices of baguette, which I rubbed with garlic on one side. Let me show you what I did, because I'm going to need more than that. So here's my baguette, the rest of it. And I don't know how much I'm gonna need. I have a pretty huge pan, so more than that. So just take a slice, and I've got a piece of garlic that a garlic that I cut in half, and I'm just gonna rub the side, one side, with the garlic. All right, let's go see if I've got enough now. I'm keeping the garlic side up because that matters. Okay, so I'm going to put these over the top, just like this. Garlic side up. And there we have it. So now we're going to take that cup of Gruyere cheese that I set aside and just sprinkle it on the top. Actually, I could have used more than just a cup because my pan is so large, but we'll make do with what I have. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, really, there's so much cheese in the macaroni that, I don't know. It'll be fine not to have more than that on the top. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna put a little bit more pepper. I do love black pepper. Okay, now we're going to, okay, if this were a smaller pan, then I would put a sheet pan underneath just in case it boils over. But I've got a good 2 inches, maybe 3 inches in some places on the top, so I'm not worried about it boiling over. So I'm not gonna do the part where I, you know, put it on a sheet pan. I'm gonna pop it in the oven and I'm gonna cook it for 10 to 15 minutes until it's bubbly and brown in spots. If you want it darker, you can broil it, but I'm gonna be okay with this. So I'll put that in the oven and show you what it looks like when it's done.